All right, welcome back to the channel. I've gathered you here for something that was posted last night on an Instagram story that I wasn't aware of until just recently, and I was quite curious on what was the post about. Oh, I know who it was towards because you blatantly put it out in the story.
Right.
I just want to know a little bit more into what happened behind that story, as I'm sure they do too.
Right. So things probably, a little bit of a change of pace, I guess. Not so much lively, smiling, and the this, that, right? So, I mean, a lot of what we do is business. I mean, that's ultimately how this comes down to things.
Yeah.
And very rarely do I allow personal stuff to kind of interject into the business. But there occasionally tends to be a few times. There's a few other people that actually got a little bit coming to them here eventually. But this a little interwoven into a personal thing, and it has the business tied into it. First, what I want to apologize to you for dragging you into it, even though it's kind of about you a little bit in the same sense, because I was kind of standing on our brand and standing on our time and our energy and our word, and ultimately that's what this comes down to. For those people who saw the post, I'm not going to reiterate who it was. You'll just be known as Goofy from here on out. Like I'm not giving you no more press. You'll have to buy more followers. You run it up to 20 grand, 30 grand, and see how you still get 12 likes on your posts. So yeah, you just keep that. But this is straight up about you, and you know who you are, and you know why this is about you. So, I guess a little bit of backstory. The thing that really, and if people want to claim like, oh, you're really in your feelings about this stuff, you're fucking damn right I am. Right. So.
Well, there's a lot of things that actually kind of went into it a little bit, just besides that one thing, right? We've also done a lot of stuff.
I don't think people even know the one thing that happened because I took it down so quickly.
Oh, the original post.
The thing that originally got all this off the hop, which was a post I made that was completely just like laughing at some of the funny excuses that we've heard over the years.
Yeah, wasn't it just like it was a vague post?
It wasn't vague. It wasn't direct. That's the thing, is there was nothing vague about it, as I wasn't trying to just like, not like today. So like today I'm going to do this video and straight up kick a hornet's nest and shove it up your ass for you. But on that, I wasn't trying to do that. I was trying to be Cody, the businessman who's just trying to like be gracious to people and just have a laugh about some things that were just, there was no context. Like I wasn't trying to drill down and say like, this guy right here, let's all point at him. But like this time, this guy right here came out of pocket in my DMs in a way that I guarantee you in my face, there'd be no coming out of pocket like that, or else we wouldn't be playing this dumb shit. So my feelings got hurt. Not because of what people said to me, but because the preamble to it, the track record beforehand, the build up, was that we took care of this guy. We took care of this guy. We gave him excuse after excuse after excuse to get away with. We repped his brand on our brand. When you go over and look at his stuff, and that's kind of what had me in it, was it popped up on my For You page yesterday, a thing of his.
Yeah.
And I looked at it because I recognized the thing, and I thought, okay, I'm going to take, and I noticed people that I co-signed that are over there giving him dap, that are like it, and it's, people are allowed to like whoever but they wouldn't be there had I not sent them there.
True that.
And they don't know the reason why this all dissipated. So this guy didn't like it paying his bills. This guy loves posturing like he thinks he's got it all. It's all together. How's that website coming along, pal? I still see it's still coming. Really looking forward to it. But posture, like you got all this stuff and everything's all rah. Yeah, it's a lot of posturing because can't pay the bills, play a lot of internet games. We always were trying to defend him as a person because you don't want to shit on somebody because they have a bigger, their appetite in their mind is a little bigger than their stomach. So they sit down with their plate and they realize, wow, I wanted all this and then I can't consume it all. It's like, no problem, I'll work with you. So payment plans and being patient and all that kind of stuff put on the sidelines, that's fine. I'm okay with that. I don't have a problem with trying to work with people if people are being genuine to us. Like we're not robots. I'm not a robot, right? I got a wife, a kids, a career beyond this.
we just don't power down.
Right, we don't. Right, my time isn't just endless, and neither is my patience. So I don't owe you anything. Last I checked, you're the one coming to me buying stuff, not the other way around. I bought a whole lot of that nothing from you, which I would imagine is what your website sales are going to look like, just as a whole. That's the macroeconomic picture of how things will probably pan out for you, Goofy. But that's besides the point. We were good to you. We took care of this guy. We co-signed him constantly, sent people beyond bot followers. We sent real humans to go over there, and I did it on my word. And that's what bothers me, is that my word that I gave to these other people, they still think that that's the truth because they don't know about all the stuff in between, the stuff that happened, because I tried to take the high ground and just say, you know what, fuck this. I'm not going to entertain this. I'm just going to allow you to have your little temper tantrum over there, and I'm just going to disengage from you, and I'm not going to deal with you anymore. And if people figure out that I don't deal with you anymore, great. And if they figure it out, great. And whatever it is, it doesn't matter. Like, I'm not here to try to like influence. I'm not running for politics. I don't care who people are chilling with or not chilling with. But something about yesterday, I don't know, man. Yesterday, like I said, it's been a few months since this thing happened. So originally there was a post that went up, like I was saying, that was vague's a word for it, but vague kind of means that I was like dancing around certain people, and I wasn't. Because I'll call you out right, like I'm right here, like pin me the whereabouts. I'll come see you. We can see each other face to face.
It was kind of just like a funny post. It was just like, if you heard some of the stories or something like that.
And that's totally what it was. Right. It was a post written tongue in cheek about some customers and their excuses.
Right, because when I read it, I laughed initially because I didn't have anybody that come to mind initially when I actually read it.
And it's funny.
I laughed.
It's funny you had a chance to read it because this guy must have been waiting on the other side of the internet with his emotions just ready to fire because he responded within like 2 minutes of this post being up and responded, like, came out of his fucking pocket about it and called me a clown. Said
he did, yes.
Right, you're a clown if this is about me. And it's like, well, I mean, if the shoe fits, wear it. And I mean, you knew you were ducking bills you couldn't pay.
It's funny because like he said, you're a clown if it's about me. So, but he's still calling you a clown.
He's just
without even knowing. Right?
Well, he doesn't even know, right? He's just jumping the gun and saying,
he's like, just if it's about me, you're a clown.
So I went right to DMs. I didn't go into like chasing the daisy chain on the comments section. I wasn't gonna. I went right into DMs and asked him, like, yo, what the fuck is going on, dude? Like, what are you on about? And it just rah, all this kind of stuff. And I mean, dude used to be some alcoholic, so he's probably just fucking drunk over there, pissed off about life. Life sucks probably, bro. So like, good. That's, I guess, a good way to tell that life sucks is you're so quick to jump the gun and be all down my throat about something that had nothing to do with you. So whatever, that's fine. And I put that shit aside because he went rah about a whole bunch of things from mad distance. Everybody can say all sorts of shit from distance. Like I'm a real like I said, I'm a real person. I'm not a robot. I'm outside. I'm easy to find. So
catch me outside.
Right, bro. You wouldn't want to
come outside.
You wouldn't want to calling me all those words after all I did was call you good words.
Right, and like what led up to this, I got pissed off too a little bit about this because we've done so much business, like deals with him, give him like so much leeway, and then for him just to come out and just accuse and just call you a clown
in a second,
not even asking like, is this about me or anything? He just kind of accused,
and he jumped it so fast as if he was on that end waiting to be mad. Like, but that's people that know they're in the wrong about a bunch of stuff. Usually are really defensive. Like that's what I got from it immediately. I got from the fact that I posted this, and within 2 minutes you saw it, and you decided to start burning all the bridges down. It's like you already knew you weren't paying your bill. You already knew that there was this because he right before that had an order put back that had been here for almost 6 months.
Yeah, it's been here quite some time. I do remember that.
Unpaid, which is some of the reasons why you guys have seen some changes to policies around here. Was because we're just not playing this anymore. Because we go above and beyond to take care of our customers. You go ahead and talk to this idiot and find out you don't get mistreated here. You get exactly what you pay for every time. Things are 100% above board. Like much like where else you could come here and audit the way I do my shit. Feel free. Like there's nothing that we're doing that we're trying to duck and dodge.
No, nothing.
Because we want to do business for the future. right? And so that's why I figured, okay, I'll just monetize some controversy then. You know what? Like, why am I sitting on this, stewing on this? I wouldn't let some other idiot in my real life get away with talking to me like this.
No, you wouldn't know.
No, I mean, you know me. That's
I do.
Right. That's not something that would fly. Don't let all the smiling and all the, like, I'm still a real person, and I'm somebody who's, that's sales. That's sales. Everything is sales. I know a lot of people love to get on these social media platforms and rah about the community and everything. Bro, there's only two avenues you're in. You're either in the avenue of trying to get attention, or you're in the avenue of trying to get a bag, and a lot of times those avenues intersect. You're not out here trying to like build some community, like you're putting down pike like for a community center. Get over yourself. Right? Like, that's just a diversionary tactic for a bunch of people who don't want to be honest about what things are.
Yeah.
But we're on our business more times than not, because we understand it's business and we want to do business in the future. We love the medium we do business in. So we don't take that shit for granted. Like, just because we're on our business and we're presenting like businessmen, it doesn't mean that we're not people who like still want to do the business for the long term. It's not a facade. It's just a matter of, when you go to work, do you wear a suit and tie while you're taking a shit at home? Probably not. But when you go into your office, are you a professional? You're a white-collar professional? You're probably wearing a suit and tie.
Right. No,
I wore a suit and tie for years of my professional life. I'm not wearing no suit and tie. What's the difference? It's because when in Rome, you do as the Romans do. So when we're doing stuff publicly, you make sure you're smiling and you have a good time with it because you enjoy it. But there comes these things that you don't enjoy, and we end up aggrieving them between the two of us. And more times than not, Dan, people we just throw you by the wayside because you're not even worth the time. You're a real goofy, and we just discard you like trash. But this guy didn't run away by blocking everything, knowing he couldn't come to terms with the fact that he wasn't man enough to live up to his word.
Yep.
This guy got on the offensive from thousands of kilometers away and started feeling himself a little too much, pounding his chest about who exactly he thinks he is. Not who you're not. I guarantee you who you're not. Who he thinks he is. And it's been bugging me. And the last
can I ask you what's been bugging you the most? Was it the fact that we had to put books back? Was the fact that he just called you out? Exactly. No, because we do that for everybody, right?
Dude,
not for everybody, but
money. Like,
no, putting the books back, we understand real life stuff.
I'm not broke like this idiot is. Goofy over there is the one that's rubbing fucking two nickels together, hoping to manifest $1. Like, that's not me. That's not what we do.
So yeah,
it was the principle, dude. It was I've always treated you fair. I've invested a lot of my free time into making sure things were taken care of. I've read your paragraph-long grievances about dollar book sales and how it needed to be your way, and you tried to
giveaways
institute rules during giveaways because you were just very particular, even though you couldn't do any of this on your own. You couldn't do any of this. I challenge you. Come to the dance, bro. Bring your shit to the table. Let's see what you've got. Let's see what you can. I'd love to see it. I'm here waiting with bated breath. I'll be your first fan. Come show me what you could do, because I imagine it's going to amount to nothing. But we were trying to be chill. We'd given you nicknames and deals and been friendly, and not only that, but had co-signed. I used my platform to co-sign this guy to try to help prop up him and a business he claims to have been building through my word. I don't know a transaction you've ever done. I don't know that you're about anything.
Right, because we've never technically done a transaction from you.
Never bought a damn thing from you.
No, nothing.
No, don't know what your shipping time's like. Don't know that you can fulfill shipping. Don't know that things are safe. Don't know the quality of anything beyond the person that we were interacting with in a one-way street.
Right.
And then when the money started to dry up on his end, all of a sudden excuses started to build.
Right.
And then to come out of your fucking mouth that I'm a clown, that I'm this, that I'm like, you can have whatever opinion you want of me. I'm not really here to try to dissuade you. Like, feel free. You could dislike me all you want, but it was that was the defense mechanism of someone back into a corner knowing they were wrong. This was someone who I thought was, I don't want to say my friend, but by proxy was at least an associate, someone that I would have chopped it up with on a personal level for a minute or two.
For sure. We did shout him out lots on the show. Like, lots.
So it hurt my feelings in that sense. And I've been sitting on this for a bit. Like, I've been sitting on it for a couple of months now. And like I said, a post showed up yesterday. It was in the For You thing, so I took a look at the post, and I noticed a couple of names on there that I know for a fact 100% are my people.
Yeah.
They're not your people. You God and probably know people. It's you and your mommy over there holding hands. These are my people, and they don't know about all the shady shit that went down after I had already co-signed him so much and built him up to those people.
Yeah.
That's what bothered me. And then I was like, you know what? Goofy, fuck you. Like, straight up and down. Like, I don't need to be nice about this. I don't owe you a goddamn thing. Because there's nothing wrong that I did.
No,
and
nothing.
And then you couldn't take your L like a man, even though the original thing you got all in a fucking hissy about wasn't even about you.
Yeah.
So you couldn't take it like a man because you're not one. You're goof.
You crumbled under some pressure that wasn't even there.
Weak. Yeah, you couldn't take no real pressure.
No.
Right. So whatever, we'll let you have that. You go away to wherever hole you crawled out of and stay in the hole.
Yeah.
But it was needing to be said so that my other people now have the full story without me having to go door to door to door and act like I'm being a politician and saying pick my side or his side. I'm not looking for you to pick a side.
Just here's the story.
I just wanted you to know when this camera's off, when these sales aren't on, that we're still people here that still do a lot of work for a lot of people. And when people take advantage of us, or when people come out of their mouth sideways about some shit that we do nothing but the utmost good for them. We never take advantage of them.
No.
It's like that kind of stuff. You at least deserve to know the context of the situation. And that's what this was a matter of it. I needed to put this out there. And then when I talked to you last night about it, I said, like, let's just do a video about it. I'll put it all out there. I'll let people know. And we'll do this in the future again. And when people want to be stupid, I'm going to monetize it. I'm going to monetize kicking this hornet's nest every time. And when somebody really wants to ball up and show up, you can film it on that phone and we'll monetize the face-to-face.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll monetize that too. Absolutely. Because we're not playing this dumb game. I'm not playing this dumb game with you. My time is far too precious. Your time is. And more importantly, my respect. When I give that shit out and you just rebuff that and throw that back in my face, good. Come do it to my face. Don't do it over the internet. Have a pair. Grow a pair. I know it's probably tough to even materialize the thought in your head, being such a cowardly little bitch. But if you ever can materialize the idea of actually having a pair and you want to come swing by. Come swing by and we can have a conversation like two men. Otherwise, you want to call me names on the internet? Fine. You just stay blocked over there. But for all the people that are still kind of giving this guy a cosign, that guys that got sent there through us, because I was all on top of that over and over again, because I like to do that for our guys. I don't get anything back from that. There's no kickback for me repping you.
Absolutely not. No, you're doing free advertising, marketing.
I'm doing free marketing for you, dude. Like, that's exactly what's happening. I'm doing, and that's why you're not getting your name mentioned here, because you're not worth it. I'm not doing free marketing for you again. If people know, they know who this is, and if you don't know, you don't know, and you'll never know. Because this guy's a ghost, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah,
some nobody.
Dust in the wind.
Some absolute nobody. Just, yeah. So it was in my feelings a little bit about it. And I'll admit that. And like I said, I owe you an apology, and I owe the Big Beaver Comics fans or people, whatever you want to call them, an apology, because that's not like me to come out and bring personal shit into business.
No, it definitely wasn't like you at all.
But it was personal and it was business intertwined. And if it was some moron who didn't have anything that I had been sending people to, if it's our other friend there that I mentioned a little earlier in the video who didn't have anything. He had a nickname and a this and a that, but when he went away, no one cared because most people thought he was an overbearing twat anyways. I mean, facts, right? Yeah, well, nobody else liked him.
No.
Right? And he'd have little temper tantrums because his estrogen would get out of control every 6 weeks or whatever. And it was humiliating. And it was a grown man older than us.
You get a wall of text complaining that he didn't get $1 buck that he
right. Some sad song and dance, right? But he wasn't worth having a thing about because we never sent anyone to him. We didn't co-sign him as another potential business or an entity that you could go and rock with. he was just a guy that was there. And when he got excommunicated, I noticed how the whole total of 0 people noticed.
Yeah,
that's how missed you are.
Nobody ever asked what happened.
Nobody ever asked, right? He just went away because that's where he deserves to be, is gone. But this guy was getting clout off us.
Oh, big time.
And there was no clout for us to get off of him because all his followers are bot followers.
Oh, absolutely.
Right.
Doesn't have any show.
He doesn't have any clout to give.
No.
He doesn't even have, like I said, doesn't have 2 nickels to rub together
Just faceless.
to pay the bills of the thing that he commits to.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it was what it was, but I just thought that I needed to address it. So, sorry to everybody for bringing personal stuff into business, but when this happens, I'm going to come here and do this again. I'm telling you right now, this is not... I'm not letting this slide. If we're doing this and we're about it with each other, we're clicked up, and things go sideways, and they go sideways because you can't live up to your word, or they go sideways because you can't handle your emotions, or they go sideways because whatever it happens to be, and I've co-signed you or he's co-signed you through this brand, we're going to come back here and we're going to deal with it. And I'm going to monetize tearing you down. I'm telling you that right now. Because I wouldn't do it. There's no way anybody out there that deals with us knows there's no way that we would do it. We don't do that. If someone comes and tries to give us a leg up, we live up and then beyond the limit of expectation with that person or with that business. You can ask the umpteen businesses and people we've done major tens of $1,000 deals with. Ask them. Ask the people who've had us in their giant warehouses of merchandise and took everything on word.
Yeah.
People that have given us massive consignment deals, everything on word. And at the end of the day on paper, everything comes back down to exactly the way it was supposed to be.
Absolutely.
Because our words were something. Because I couldn't come here and rah-rah if my word was... And I guess my feelings wouldn't be hurt if I was like, man, you know what, I am a clown.
Well, that's very true. If
I
your
wasn't-
feelings weren't invested, you probably wouldn't be doing
If I,
this video right now.
if I was a clown, I probably would have been like, damn, he called me out on it. Fucking he knows. Shit, my cover's blown.
Right, maybe you should go make a big stink on one of his posts then.
Oh, fuck.
And if you were a clown, right? Maybe you would have done that.
Right. Because yeah, that was his move. Just to assume that it's funny because he's, and the people who did see it, shout out to a couple people who did see it.
Right, you know
who you are, even though it was only up for a couple minutes, who said like he aired himself out because like...
Oh no, they brought it to us and said that, oh, he aired himself out.
Because it wasn't even his name mentioned or anything.
No.
And it wasn't about him. But we knew who, I guess, you know, like you
know those daily work stories you encompass? Like, oh, you know, Fred, you know, tripped over the water cooler again. It was just one of those kind of posts like, oh yeah, if you could hear the posts that like are the excuses we hear. That's
right,
all.
the dog ate my homework.
Right, it was stuff like those. I think literally you wrote that.
I'd love to pay for my books, but you know, I've got brain surgery on Mars at 9. Or,
right. I'm a secret agent. I'm going to moon right now. So
right, we've had people like, oh, you know, I'm homeless now. And we've had all sorts of good ones. We've had those, right?
I'm on the road again.
Right, and I'm outdoors. We've had all sorts of good ones, and we joke about them.
We do, because it's funny.
And that was kind of what that was that we were just trying to...
I think it's like if you could write a sitcom about... It was something like stupid like that. It was a stupid post.
It really was.
He got mad
It was innocuous, right? But it came out that he was already feeling some type of way, and was on the defensive... It was on internet defensive, which is make-believe defensive.
Keyboard warrior defensive.
Right, yeah, because I keep going outdoors, and I don't see anybody out there really scowling at me much. Or with
Jillian Jiu-Jitsu and keyboarding.
Yeah, so whatever floats your boat there, Goofy. But that was the story, so people that were wondering about the story post there on IG, they've got a little bit salacious, and I'm not taking it down. It's going to ride. It's 24 hours out, and I'm sure it'll get around to him, and I'm sure this video will get to him, and I'm sure by now, if he's been watching this whole thing, he's punching himself in the dick for
dick punching,
right? Because
I'm sure he is, man.
I'm sure he's blaming everybody but himself. That's people with no accountability, right? They're going to blame everybody but themselves. They're not going to take any responsibility. Like, that's the one thing you could tell about this guy was, like, he was always someone who had some sob story, and the sob stories only went one way.
Yes.
Like, there was no, like, why he was going to, like, make something up for things or, you know, like, right a wrong or go above and beyond. There was none of that. It was always, like, understand the plight of me, and it's a constant.
Absolutely.
Right. And
Because
just
I see, like, you even said, like, it's
Victims.
not about you, and he just kept on going on and on.
victims. Right. And I got all the screenshots for everything,
and
but I'm
it's
not.
hilarious.
We're not going to post screenshots.
No, we're not.
But
no.
I screenshotted it all just because I thought it was funny.
Right, no,
Because I was like, oh, this is comedy. Like,
No,
this is worth sending this shit around.
It's quite the skit.
So yeah, it's like I said to him in the thing. I was like, "You drinking again?" Because like it's just one of those things.
Right, it was out of place.
See, I got off my chest. I'm smiling now.
Right, he was. But at the beginning, he was like,
Right, I got it
I'm
off
gonna
my
murder
chest.
somebody. No, I know
It's
that.
been kind of eating away at me for a bit. Like,
Well, I think it's how
it's
how
insulting, man.
done business with just giving deals after deals and doing giveaway after giveaway and stuff, and then having one time where somebody had to put books back, and then you made a comical post and you lose your shit over it.
We didn't even have to put books
No,
back.
no,
We've given
no.
them plenty of opportunity.
True, very true.
Things were here for 6 months and you couldn't pay your bill.
Yeah.
Yet you were walking around on your IG talking about, oh, look at me, I'm in my LCS, picking
yes.
up my pull list and this, that, the other thing. And it's like, so you're basically just going like this to me.
Basically, no,
You're
that's
trying to
true,
you're trying
very
to get
true.
clout off your bot followers on IG by showing yourself walk around a place that I guarantee you doesn't treat you like we do. And
Absolutely
even if they
not.
do, I mean, my job is not to tell them how to do their thing. Maybe they treat you fantastic. Maybe that's your dad. I have no fucking clue. But it's the fact that you've got stuff here that goes unpaid for, and at the same time you're posting all this stuff that you just bought, and it's like we tried to let people build all this stuff and be nice and not hammer people with invoices.
Right.
And we realized that, you know what, we gave people an inch and some people started taking a mile and they needed to get their hand slapped, or in this case, Buddy just needs to get his fucking head slapped. But yeah, and things had to change, and it was a good crossroads to come to realize that there was some adjustment that needed to be made for us, because we were doing a lot that was making us, I don't want to say like we're a punching bag or anything like that. Like I'm not trying to victimize me. I feel like I built that rule structure and I was trying to abide by it to try to be the most customer friendly that I could be and allow other people to not have to focus on paying for everything right up front, because real life comes into play too, and comic books aren't the main selling point of a lot of people's lives. There's a bunch of shit that comes into play, like your furnace goes or something. Well, it's like, well, fuck, I just bought $70 worth of books from these guys here yesterday, and it's like, dude, don't sweat it. Like, worry about that in a few weeks or whatever. Pay for your furnace, right? And we were trying to be good to people, and you were trying to allow people to enjoy their hobby with a little bit of their guard down and not constantly thinking about, like, if I pick this up off the shelf, the first walk is right to the register, and I got to make this, payment right now. There's no going anywhere. It's like, no, it can be yours. It can be set aside.
Yeah.
And you can pay for it, like when we get to a period in time that seems that it works for you within reason. And then people started to abuse the within reason part, and then people started to think that they were just entitled to everything. And now we've had to revert to a process that's a little bit more rigid and doesn't care if your furnace breaks.
Right, no, not really.
And that's unfortunate, because we were fine financially to be able to do that for people.
Absolutely, but it's that old saying, couple spoiled apples spoils a bunch or whatever.
Right, yeah, we gave people enough rope and they all strung, well, not they all, there's a few of them strung themselves up, and I just got sick of looking at all these strung up bodies. Yeah. And had to deal with it somehow.
It's unfortunate.
And it's unfortunate. Yeah, this guy didn't care about anybody but himself, and I wouldn't recommend him to a soul.
Absolutely not.
So if you're seeing this and you're wondering who it is,
after we're supposed to be friends,
yeah,
that's the first
I wouldn't recommend this guy's business. He couldn't live up to his word. His word was worth nothing.
Yeah.
So if your word's worth nothing, I would imagine that your business acumen is probably garbage as well.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
what's going to happen when he gets a little emotional on that end, or when the time crunches in? And who else is going to get excuse after excuse after excuse after you've given him your money in this instance?
Yeah, right, of course.
Because now it's the complete opposite. The thing is flipped on its head, where it's not him sending me stuff. It's you potentially doing business with him, and you sending your hard-earned money, or your word is worth something, to someone on the pretense that their word is worth something, and you find out that maybe it's not, because he goes through these giant emotional mood swings and decides that, I'm going to just burn it all down today because it's not going my way, and a perpetual victim. So I wouldn't recommend him in the least. I wouldn't. I wouldn't take my dick out and piss on him if he was on fire. He could go.
I would not.
He
No.
could go fuck himself.
Absolutely.
Straight up, I'm rooting for your failure, but I want to see get everything off the ground. I'm totally interested in seeing what happens and absolutely driving as many people away from your garbage as I possibly can. So, but now that that's off my chest, I feel better about it. So that's what the story post was.
There you go.
Just assholes, man. Assholes that run their mouth. That
entitled little bitches.
Yeah, just an entitled little bitch.
Yeah.
Absolutely, and it's pathetic.
It is,
but you're a pathetic human being. So that's that. Bye.